like you bumble at first, but that's kind of like what your characters would actually do. So if anything, you guys are just role playing. I mean, I don't think you're bumbling at all. But did I get kicked?
No, I think Cook's joined
I think
in.
Cook's joined.
Oh,
Yeah. What's up, Cookies?
What up, boy? Things
Oh,
sound
no.
quiet as shit.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if it's me, but
okay, nice. Ba-ba-dum-bum.
what,
Alright.
are we ready to get this party started?
Yeah. Just one last thing.
I need like 2 minutes.
Oh, good, cool. I always can use more time.
Cooks, it is a little hard to hear.
Yeah, you can turn up his volume
I
individually.
did.
Oh, you did?
It's better. I can hear you
Pretty
better
quiet.
now, actually.
I
Like,
can.
it's workable.
It's clear though. Why-
I mean, I
why-
can deal with it.
Being picky.
Nick, did you say you're being picky?
Yeah.
Alright.
Gonna come in
Forewarning.
blasting.
Turn down.
Hey, that's the only way I like to be fucked, in the ear.
I thought it was funny.
I laughed. My mic just went out.
Yeah, same.
Oh, okay.
We're all laughing, man. None of our mics picked it up, though. It's cool.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. You guys hear me a little better now?
Now you definitely sound like you're fucking my ear.
Yeah.
You better bend that ear backwards, brother. We're going to Browntown.
Would it be Yellowtown? Because, like, the earwax?
I mean, it depends on how old your earwax
can be
is.
brown.
Yeah, that's true.
You got some stuff that's been. I mean, you know, I have like hyperactive ears that like ooze earwax like Shrek and make candles out of it.
So gross.
I mean, you
That-
know, like the pigmentation from my skin sometimes
Seeps into your earwax.
it's the color of the.
Is that
I'm just
true?
making shit up at this
I was
point.
about to say, damn, that's crazy. What the fuck?
Sound legit. But I don't know, man. Not my experience. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, there you go.
You know,
I was just kidding.
give me 1 sec.
And there goes our DM. And he's back.
Craig's being a little bitch.
Man, fuck Craig. Craig motherfucking
Yeah.
ass, but
He ain't even getting online.
he's like your friend Cody.
Yeah.
Fucking like,
But yeah, anyways, I don't know if you guys seen like exactly what that was, but that's a 2 terabyte hard drive. So I will be able to have that game and Call of Duty and other games for the first time in my entire life on one PlayStation.
Goddamn time.
Holy cow.
welcome to 2020, bro.
Wow, I mean, I'm so excited. I'll be able to. Hey, you guys have Division 2, right? I'm gonna download that shit. Like, I bought it when
I
it.
had it.
I bought it when it was $2, and I wanted to play it, but I've never had any space. But bam! Guess what?
Nah, man, I play Fall Guys now.
I've never played the first one, but yeah, I mean that game is free too.
Whatever. I really want to just get her recorded. But
Have you guys played that game, Fall Guys?
No, but
I
I've been hearing a lot about it.
I just downloaded it. It looks fun.
It's
it like
fun,
a-
but it will make you rage.
The mobile
Oh,
game?
man. No, it's on consoles and PC.
Yeah. It was free last month,
Yeah, it was PlayStation's free game.
like a day ago.
Oh, damn, I missed it. I'm pissed. I'm assuming, like, it has to do with, like, people falling. Is that, like, the concept? You gotta, like, catch them
Yeah,
or
it's It's like it's a knockout game. So you're these like bumbling, slow, clumsy, like cartoon fat people, and you're like going through these like obstacle courses and challenges and stuff.
Like literally,
And
if you can imagine being like 500 pounds trying to navigate one of the obstacle courses that are like
like on
inflatable.
an ice skating rink or something.
Yeah, like literally that's about how it is. You're just like falling around all over the place and shit. I literally booted up and I think I played like half a match with Joshua, but I never really gave it a good fair shot, you know. But I mean, it's only like 3 gigabytes. Like,
Yeah, it's fun to pass the time, and he goes like multiple rounds, and you know people get knocked
but
out. It's like,
can't you not play with your friends?
Not locally, but they're bringing it. I read something on Instagram that they're going to be introducing local multiplayer.
Right.
I have to get it in if it's not too expensive. What I really want to get, but I don't want to get, is Cuphead, because I've heard how ridiculously
No, that
insane
game is so
is.
good. You have to. If you haven't played it, you have
They
to.
have co-op for it now?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I heard it's just hard as shit.
It is hard as shit, but it's cool as fuck. Like, it's super cool. It's like, it's kind of like playing Dark Souls and Bloodborne. Like, it's hard as fuck, but you just deal with it because it's a cool game. Still never finished Bloodborne, by the way. Because fuck that game.
Damn, bro, that's old.
Man, it's impossible. It's impossible. I've tried at least on 4 different occasions.
I think my brother gave up on it too.
I literally got stuck on the fucking first level. Homies would literally just insta-clap you if you fuck
Yeah,
up
like-
one time.
Game does not care if you're a beginner or not. Like, it does not give a fuck.
Can I get an easy mode, please?
Nah.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely. I've already chugged all my potions within the first 2 enemies. And
Those
then,
are just the minions.
and then here comes the big ass boss that that has a health bar longer than Ron Jeremy's penis. Like, this motherfucker just stretching across the state, dude.
I don't know, man. I get people who like are completionists and stuff, and I'm just like, why would I want to put that much effort into like losing? Like, you know, like there are normal
Says the
games.
man who 100%ed fucking Crash Bandicoot, Our Generation's Bloodborne, or Dark Souls.
Crash Bandicoot was not that bad.
This game was fucking frustrating as
Now I will
shit,
tell you,
man.
the remaster version was actually a lot harder than the first one, than the original,
You think
because
so?
of something they did. No, they came out and said it. Something they did with the jump timing was a little different, and so it like threw everybody off.
Well, you gotta
So it
think
was
that-
actually harder.
Trying
Yeah.
to replicate something that is so binary and like old as fuck in modern engines and stuff actually is kind of difficult.
Yeah, no, I believe it. Well, I'm excited for the new. You know, they're coming out with another Crash
Okay.
game. Making
Yeah.
Crash 4. I'm excited for it, man. I love Crash Bandicoot.
Same.
I the only one that I ever played, but I really did enjoy it, was the Warped. That one was
Yeah,
really, really, really good.
That third one, that was probably my favorite, honestly.
All right. Well,
I don't know, the bosses in that game were just so cool. You know,
They were
Yeah.
cool.
they were super
Ripper
cool.
Roo.
Yes, man.
Ripper fucking Roo. And Tiny the Tiger.
Yeah.
Tiny.
Here comes Titan.
Fucking what was the other one's name? The
There was Engine.
Engine,
and then
yeah.
Neo Cortex.
Yeah, Neo was the main villain.
Yeah. Engine was that guy with the missile in his head.
He was my favorite. He was funny. Oh, Dingo Dial.
Dingo Dial.
Dingo Dial was my dude.
So, me and Kelsey got an Alexa today.
Oh,
Yo.
word.
Yeah.
Welcome to the future.
I mean, it's actually a lot of fun. Like, we were sitting there fucking with it, and you can talk to Pikachu, which I thought was quite interesting. It was actually
Yep, yep.
like cute as fuck.
I've got Google Home just because I got one free as Spotify was giving them away to their premium members last year,
Oh, really?
and so I went with Google Home, and then I also just recently got a Sonos soundbar. And I
Ours
was
was-
doing that too.
Ours was a gift from Kelsey's Nana, cause she's a Jehovah Witness, so she doesn't buy like birthday presents. She just gives you gifts throughout the year, you know. I
think
feel
if I had
like
the
I feel
choice
like
before
that's
we go
trying
electric,
to find a loophole in your religion, but you know, like whatever.
Hey Nick, were you I heard y'all were like slammed yesterday, man. I heard everything was fucking up.
bro, everything broke. Like 9:30,
Really?
I
broke
was
it
on
open.
PTO. I'm so glad I was.
Shit just went down.
That's crazy.
Everything.
Was-
Crave,
Well, I-
the website.
Wait,
Notice because I went on the website to buy some Apple stock and it was like
Yeah,
not
you
working,
and
bro.
fucking everyone else in the goddamn country.
No.
yeah, literally
But
like
hey, I didn't call though. I didn't call. I was
Thank
just like, fuck it, I'll figure it out.
Why was everyone trying to buy Apple stock?
They did a 4-for-1 split yesterday, so their stock price went from like $500 a share to like $125 a share.
Oh wow.
Much, much more affordable.
And
Tesla did one.
Tesla did the same thing.
One, two, yeah, yeah. But theirs is still like $600 per share, so I was like, yeah, fuck that, I'm not buying that.
They're all inflators.
Fuck. Yeah. So, but I was like, Apple, that's affordable. I want fucking Amazon to do one, man, because their stock is like $4,000 per share.
Is it really?
Yeah, I mean, I think 4,000 is like overshooting it, but I think it's like 3,000 or something.
Coach, what were you asking? You're gonna ask?
no, I was just gonna add that that's really weird because like at Domino's we had like a complete nationwide system crash as well.
Uh-oh.
Like-
Russia attacked us.
Literally,
Oh, no, 'cause Fidelity and Schwab had problems too.
So did PayPal and Lyft.
it's called Domino's Pulse is what we use for our make lines, our order entry, all that shit, and it was fucked. Like our make line wasn't ringing when we had new orders pop up. It was super slow for everything, even when people were calling in and ordering food.
Bro, it's the fucking
That's
The
commies,
Russians.
bro.
Man, they fucking with
commies cyber
pizza,
attacked us, dude.
pizza and stocks.
Not
I'm
just
trying-
pizza and stocks though, because PayPal had issues, Lyft had issues.
It's weird.
You say Fidelity had issues? Yeah, it was the
Fidelity,
commies.
Schwab.
It was the commies, man. It was the fucking commies.
It's the
People
red.
were on our website or like our Facebook, like fucking ranting at us. Like, I cannot believe you cannot keep it for the call. Like, I'm not having any trouble with Fidelity or blah blah blah. And someone come in like, yeah, bro, Fidelity's down too, by the way.
Exactly.
It is the red hammer and
Melting
sickle.
Down on our Facebook and Twitter. They
Man,
were just losing.
Who sent this picture of this controller that just looks like it's dripping in sweat?
That's my controller.
You have fucking
man.
paddles?
Yeah, that's my
I,
stuff.
I
Man,
have one too, bro.
you guys are
Although
sweaty.
mine's just broke right now. The paddles are the way to go,
Man,
bro. Like honestly, like I'm pissed that the stock controllers don't have them, and the new system won't have them either. Like it's just like to me, it's a natural progression for a controller.
that seems so, like, unfair.
Well, that's why I think the stock controller should have
worry,
it,
I
so
still
everybody has.
I mean, I'm agreeing with you, but I mean, that seems so unfair for there to even be a possibility of paddles. Because you can even input those buttons to different
well,
actions that aren't normally accessible to other controllers, right?
No, you can just map the buttons that are on the controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that
sorry.
theoretically makes it a lean button, right?
It could.
Yeah.
Lean.
What's a lean button? I don't know what that means.
You mean like leaning, like back and forth?
Yeah, like in Siege.
Yeah, exactly. That's like
Yeah,
50% of the reason I bought the controller.
So
I never, but see,
you
but
can
it
just
depends on
sit there
preference,
and spam lean while not having to fuck with your thumbsticks.
though.
do you-
I mean, but
Exactly.
I mean, it's just, to me, it's a natural thing, right?
Have
Like I should. Or here's the thing: wouldn't even say paddles, but I feel like we're long past the time to where I should be able to go in and completely map a game to the way I want it to be mapped. If I want my fucking trigger to be triangle, I should be able to go in and map my trigger to triangle. And I've
Yeah.
seen games here or there that allow you to do that, where you can customize every button sequence. But I'm surprised that we haven't seen it be more prevalent, honestly.
PC's been able to do it for decades.
Decades, literally
Exactly.
since fucking
Exactly.
Source came out.
So I don't know, but the paddles, like I never put my lean on my paddles. I always like to use like the reload and like gun switch and all that stuff. Because the lean, I mean, your hands are already on the stick, so it doesn't really
I
matter.
disagree with you right there. Look, I'm gonna hit you
I mean,
some like personal
personal preference.
preference. but like I feel like it is has to be at least relevant to you whether you realize it or not. Having to put in an action on something that requires absolute precision, an extra action would make you theoretically less accurate. Am
That's
I
true.
wrong?
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
good point.
I'm literally having to, instead of move my thumb in one direction, I'm having to multitask with my thumb when I could attribute that to a different finger, which is like one of the ones that's just fucking off in the back anyways.
So I will counter that argument and say, yes, you are correct, but here is why for me it doesn't matter that much. If you could turn off the lean on the sticks and only have it on the paddles, I would agree with you. But how many times have you like been in a firefight and you putting too much pressure on the sticks anyways, and it makes you like move your like do your lean? I'd rather just be comfortable with that from the jump versus me only relying on the paddles, and then all of a sudden I put too much pressure on my stick and it fucks me up.
She got out.
I agree with you with that.
Yeah,
It
so
would
just,
it would
but
have
again,
to
that's just
be
my
if I could map that button to now be the lean button and the only way I can lean on the controller.
Yeah,
I
I
agree
would
with that.
100% agree with you on that. Yeah, I would do it too, but since it's still on the sticks, to me it doesn't matter. But again,
It would
it's
become an
personal.
unexpected action that you weren't anticipating. I agree with that.
Well, in the future, we won't like if for some reason the recording thing's not working, and last week's didn't work. So, if we do end up making it a podcast or something, which I totally intend on doing, we'll either just kind of do like a summary record of what happened, or just I don't know.
We could do like a movie trailer in the world of the
Yeah.
Guard campaign.
Bury the Bard.
Excuse me.
And I'm gonna kind of retcon a tiny bit, like, cause last week was just a little bit, like, I got a little bit frazzled / trying to figure stuff was not working for me. We're gonna pick it up kind of right after you guys drop, or after Roll picked the package back from Tough, and you
Tough went
they-
off with the whore.
yeah. Oh. She's a lady of the night. Thank you very much. So you guys, because that's kind of around the time I was kind of rambling, and then JT had to go anyway. So, and I kind of thought of a way that I was overcomplicating things. So,
Sounds
hold
good.
on.
We ready to get started?
No momento. I'm loading into Astral.
okie doke.
Hello? Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you now, sir.
How long has it been since you've heard me talk?
It's been a
It's
while.
been a
I thought you were
minute,
maybe
yeah.
away from your.
No,
your
I've been
desk.
talking to you guys. I've been like talking this like controller debate.
See,
I was wondering why you didn't have an opinion
it's
there. I was just like, oh,
the
maybe
best
he's not
part
paying
is
attention.
the best part is we probably still would have cared the same. You know what I'm saying?
Well, for the record, I have lean on my paddles, and I like it.
So last question I want to ask you guys: will it take the immersion out for you if every character has the names over their head, or would you rather it be like they don't and you have to like, I don't know, like interact with them, like click on them?
I mean,
I feel like
I feel like if
whatever's-
I haven't met someone, I shouldn't know their name.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I can change, like, if you clicked on the character, it brings up their name. I don't know. This might be GM mode, so...
I mean,
we'll see.
even you just telling us their name is fine. I think.
Yeah, well...
Whatever's
you-
for you, Scott. And like I know
Okay.
Astral was good, but it's not like the most user friendly thing. Like it can be finicky sometimes. So
Yeah, we're getting
whatever's
there.
easy. Like if it's gonna over inundate you trying to like update this and update that to like change names and stuff, like don't worry about it.
Okay. I was just curious. We'll try it this way, just because I think it'd be interesting with the names not being on there. Like, again, we'll see if you can click on it, and...
As long as I can tell
I
that
know.
there's a character there, I think I should be okay.
Yeah, you can. And I'm glad we're not recording, because my Allie just brought me a cheeseburger mac, and it's good.
Hamburger helper cheeseburger, man.
Yeah.
That shit is
Used to be my
love.
favorite.
That
thing,
shit
bro.
is love.
I haven't had it in so long.
I actually haven't
Oh,
had it in a while either, but that is a good idea for supper one night.
Hey, you know. All right. So sorry, it is 8:30, but we'll have fun with it. And I did change before we jump into it. I finally changed Lich's stats. I had missed I put the wrong formula in. Essentially, you were doing hitting for extra, like your chance to hit was higher, and the damage you were doing was about like 3-4 higher, which is why you were hitting so crazy.
Right.
So I did tweak it. I talked to you a little bit about the canon version of that.
Right.
If you need a reminder, I'll kind of prompt you. If you don't want to do it that way, you can do it whatever way you think your character would do it. But,
Okay, I
yeah.
got you.
And I also added the thing for you roll where when you hit the initiative, it's going to add that extra 5 now. I think it should. So I don't have to keep being like, oh wait, yeah, by the way, you're 5 up. So, all right. So to sum up last week, you guys were. We will come up with a name eventually for your group, but your group was tasked with picking up and delivering some very special goods, crystal leaves from the Tree of Life. Okay, cut that shit out. This is serious.
I need you to have your shit on vibrate right now.
I'm just totally kidding. You guys got into a little scraffle with 4 interesting little fellas. Lich essentially destroyed all of them, while Roll and Melage prioritized protecting the goods. And from there, you were approached by guards that said, we'll take care of the things from here, as you guys continued on your mission to return to the Vagabond and deliver these seemingly priceless crystal leaves that all you know canon at the moment, I know I've told you guys a little bit more, is that they are used for some sort of initiation, some sort of test in order to deem if you're worthy or not for a bounty hunter. So, alrighty. And with that, we'll start our adventure in the characters add party to area. There we go. Boom, boom. And I figured out how to do that. Hell yeah. So,
Hell yeah.
how I can easily do this, like, can you guys left click? Oh, that was weird. Who did that?
What?
Who's pinging? I didn't ping.
I'm double clicking and it's pinging shit.
Interesting. They just, I think that must be an update. Unless you always could do it and I just didn't know.
You could always do it.
Cool though.
It's like a dot. It's like a water droplet.
So if you guys click on the people, I turned off, I could technically do this, where you guys can't see shit, but I think that's weird.
I think that yeah, I
Right.
think that's a little too much.
Yeah. So it's also I made the levels like bigger so you can see, but technically that's like right now where you're standing to those tables is like 100 feet on paper, but in reality it looks different. So I don't know. Can you guys left click on the if you click on them, does it say their name?
No.
Interesting. Okay, that's cool. I can still see them. If you guys end up hating it, then that's fine. I wish there was a way that I can let's see. No,
Does anybody know? So, quick question: you can pop out the chat that's on the right hand side. Does anybody know how once you pop it out to get rid of the one that's
Yeah.
on the picture with the map, so that way more of the map is showing?
Yeah, you hit the bracket buttons, so the right bracket will close it, and the left bracket will close the left side. So you could close everything and see the whole menu. The bracket's to the right of the P.
To the right of the P. Oh,
Yeah.
you said left bracket will close it.
It'll close the left side if you want to close the chat, which is it's the right bracket, so the 2 over from the P.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
You see. That did work. So what closes on the left? I don't think I had anything on the left to begin with. So, all right, that works. Anyways, we're good.
Cool.
Thanks.
So, you guys enter the bar. You see some interesting fish folk and a intimidating woman having a very serious conversation ahead of you, a little further, there's a patron drinking at the bar who Gene's attending to. Fish folk just chatting about having a daily lunch to the right, and then some bard-looking fellows at the corner of the bar having a casual conversation themselves. The smell of delicious foods and ale can be smelled across the bar, across the tavern.
All right. I would like to. I don't know if you guys are wanting to follow me over here, but I'd like to speak to these bards, and I would like to ask them. You don't have to be. You don't happen to be those bards we were a little rambunctious with the other night.
You know what? I think once you know someone's name, it should show it, and so I'm just gonna do that. But
Just give me everybody's name.
Yeah.
yeah,
they're just,
I can't distinguish. So everyone has their names. It's whatever.
Okay.
But I like this better because once you know their name, I feel like it's gonna be easier to monitor rather than
I guess so.
For example, Jerry and Mary have the same icon, so it'd be kind of hard to distinguish
If it's a
the
man
difference
and a
of-
woman, I get you.
Yeah, or well, the difference between the two.
Right.
Hey,
Oh,
man, you're the DM. You're gonna do what you want.
Yep.
oh my! We mean you no harm. Yes, we were with that fool Barry the other night, and Jerry turns over to Malache. Thank you for saving me from that foul dwarf. And then Mary's like, yes, thank you for saving my younger brother. He can be quite a fool. We meant no harm, so sorry about that.
So what happened to that guy, anyways?
Crack. It's
Oh.
the best of us.
Mm.
No, he's on a bender of sorts. After he lost this job here, he was talking about touring the country. We don't know how. He doesn't have a shekel to his name, but we've been looking. And then they gesture over to Edmund, or this older gentleman at the table with a flute. We were looking for a lead bard, so we were doing our interview, say you, with this fine gentleman over here. And Edmund just nods and just starts riffing on this flute like he's some sort of just over the top. Not
All right,
saying anything,
well,
just playing.
Sorry to bother you, just making sure that there was no trouble brewing over here.
Yeah. Gene yells from across the bar, "Hey, what are you guys doing? Come here, please."
Before we walk over, I say, here, you left this. And I hand one of them back the dagger.
That's awesome. Mary, they look alike, so you give it aim to give it to Jerry, and Mary kind of reaches out. That was mine. Sorry. That was
I cut a sideways glance and walk away.
that was really cool. God, he's so cool. He blushes a little.
Can I, real quick, I don't know if it's perception or what, can I try and overhear the conversation between the woman and the fish folk?
Yeah. They're not trying to disguise it. They're pretty open, or they seem to be pretty engaged. I don't know why this was here. There was a lady that was across the table that's having the conversation. They seem to be they're not yelling, so you can kind of pick up bits and pieces here. With the flute playing in your ear, it's a little distracting, but you can pick up they're talking. Those Jagas are at it again. It's terrible, and that's coming from the female-looking one. For the sake of the fact that you can see their names, Jimbei, and then the brawnier-looking one. It goes, I know it's always been a problem, but there's nothing we can do about it right now, politics and all. And Jimbei's like, I came a bounty hunter to be able to help my people, not just let them get slaughtered in the streets like animals. And then you hear Gene, what are you guys you have very important goods. What? Just come here, please. Come here. He's kind of getting a little angry. And he tops off Brat's drink and then starts coming around from behind the bar.
Well, hold on, Gene. Did you guys say something about the Jaggers?
They break their conversation and look over at you. Oh, yes, the new recruits, are you? Good luck with your initiation. But yes, we were talking about the Jaggers. They're a very well-known gang in these areas. Some call them gangs, some call them a family. It depends on your perspective, but yes, they've been causing trouble, so we hear. Word
Yeah.
travels quick.
Yeah, we actually.
Sigh over there, and she like yells and looks over. There's a fish man just sitting by himself. Is a little bit of a gossiper. Ran all the way from the barge just to tell us. Hey, you know, I just like to talk.
Well,
I was
we
actually, while they were talking, I was making my way over to Sai because I noticed him sitting by himself. So I was going to ask him why he was sitting by himself. But seeing as we've already known, I'm going to ask. So Sai, can you tell us a little bit more about the what are the people's names?
Jaggers.
The Jaggers.
Jaggers. I wanted to call them the Jaguars. The Jaggers. What do you know about the Jaggers, Sai?
He goes, well, first of all, just don't tell my boss I'm not supposed to be drinking on the job. You know, government clock and all. And he, like, lifts his ale. Yeah, those Jaggers are nasty business. They, are you guys familiar with the Fishman Cove?
Never heard of it.
No, never heard of it.
Well, just to, without getting into the full history of how Rockport's humans have treated us fish folk over the years, most of the fish folk live in this cove right by the runoff of the sewers. It's a very, very, it's not like where you take your family vacation. It's an unideal place to live, but being decimated by years of prejudice and slavery, our community has forced themselves into an area where they're comfortable. Anyway, things have been rough. Gang wars, drugs are very frequent in the Fishman Cove area. But one man brought everyone together united them from a cause, and his name was Jagger. All the fish folk respect Jagger to a certain extent. Maybe some think his means are a little extreme if we're trying to keep peace with the humans, but others think it's a necessary evil. He steals from the rich and gives to the fish.
Still a noble cause.
Yeah, but doesn't every villain have a noble cause? And then he kind of looks left, looks right, and then just sips on his ale.
And from the villain's perspective, they all have a noble cause. Well, thank you for the information, Sai. I'll no longer bother you.
No bother at all. I love
I'll
talking.
move over.
Hey, wait, and then he kind of just looks down at his ale and... How about you? You want to talk, big boy? He's yelling at Lick. Which...
Yeah, what
I
were you
love
about to
talking.
spit out?
Oh no, I just love talking. Did you hear about Jeremy Grover and his stand got smashed to bits? It was a brutal sight, apparently.
Yeah, I heard about
all of his goods. Yeah, luckily he seems to not be pursuing it. I don't know why. I would have been right to the guards, but, you know. What else? Did you hear Tammy? She's sleeping with that bearded fucker.
Alright, well, I think I've heard enough, Sai.
Wait, did you? And then he just kind of trails off as you go, Eugene. Is this some sort of game to you folks? I gave you a mission. It was to get the goods and bring them back here, not dilly-dally all around the bar, traipsing various goods and showing everybody what you have in your hands. Or
Well, Gene, the last time we spoke, you told us not to do any bounty hunting business, or that you, excuse me, that you didn't do any bounty hunting business when the bounty hunter sign was not up. As you can clearly see, it says hard.
Koi,
So,
Jinbei, and Layla are like over in the corner, and they just all bust out laughing. And then Gene kind of chuckles, and they're like, "Oh, you got you! He told you it was midnight." Even Brat, this gentleman at the bar, kind of goes, "I'm not even a bounty hunter, and I know that's the oldest trick in the book." He made you sit there and wait, didn't he? And then Gene's
yeah,
like,
he did.
"Yeah, it's a little bit of a initiation we do as bounty hunters. I had to test your mettle, see if you had the patience, because we all know that bounty hunters sometimes have to be patient to get their prey. Some of the more any kind of looks over, and at that moment there's Tough walks in to the bar. Some of the initiates are a little bit eccentric, and it's a good way to suss out who's here for the real thing. Sorry I lost my cool. It was more of a, a test. Just things to keep in mind. When you're on a job, you have to stick to the job. That's what we get paid for. And that's what we aim to do. Professionalism. That's all. Anyway, and then he walks over to the bar, and he flips another sign that says, right beneath the bar closed, or bounty hunter closed, it says always open for business. And he goes, now that we got that out of the way.
Wow.
Would you like to all meet me at the bounty hunter lodge downstairs so we can begin testing to see? And I didn't add.
Sure, since you got all day breakfast now.
And then there's a chef that yells from the kitchen, "It's not all day. We close at 2." Fucking pricks making me cook. Why am I not? I'm sorry. I'm trying to add.
Man, those COVID rules really do have an outreach, don't they?
Chuff comes bustling in. Hey! Got the goods, did we? And he's kind of like, it just for frame of reference, this is probably, he came in like 5 minutes after he saw you guys. So he's like, out of breath, came rushing in. He goes, "Yeah, we did a number on those Jaggers, didn't we? We got the goods." And he smacks Roll on the shoulder.
You got some kind of goods.
You guys, oh yeah, I'm the quickest shot in the West, if you know what I mean. And he like pulls out his gun and like fake pulls the trigger at you. Ladies love me. Don't waste their time. Anyway, Gene, we're about to make us bounty hunters, right? Just please come downstairs. And do you guys follow?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of roll my eyes. Tough.
Alright. So, it might take me just a sec because I can't have multiple characters set up if, like, they're only allowed to be in one room. So, I have to add a few people that would technically be here. But yeah, you guys come into a room. There's a couple tables full of very intimidating looking individuals. Gene waltzes by them and says, "Good, hey, good day, folks. Crimson River," and he nods at the a table closest to the center of the room. They seem to be the most intimidating folks, and they all lift their ales and just kind of nod at him. Gene, good to see you as always. You got the noobs with you? Yes, we got the new fresh blood. We're gonna see if they, and again, just appreciate the patience as I move people over.
You're good.
Technically, the astral's really cool, but I guess technically it takes away from some of the imagination if I was like describing the scene better. You know what I mean? But anywho.
I mean, I'm still kind of just like in imagination.
Okay. Yeah. So you see at the table that he calls the nods over to the Crimson River. There's a very short gentleman. He with a cloak, piercing yellow eyes coming from the cloak itself. But you could tell he's wielding a very futuristic-looking weapon. There's a lady with bright blue hair and dark gloves. She's got a fierce gaze and seems to kind of command the room just with her presence. And then finally, there's a peaceful-looking but lethal-looking swordsman at the table, and they all at the same time. Fior's or the female is the one that addresses Jean, but the other two kind of just sip their ale silently. There's another table of of a man just sitting by himself. Again, he looks fairly. All of the people here, based off of your experiences, you can tell who's intimidating, who has power and who doesn't, and everyone in this room, you can tell, belongs here. You wouldn't want to mess with these folks. So, and the individuals, the fish folk from upstairs, and the not Sai, not the gossiping one. The other two, the strong, burly-looking one, and the female with the beautiful cloak, come waltzing downstairs. Jean's like, "Oh, are you guys joining us too?" And they're like, "Yes, we wouldn't miss it for the world." "Yes, this should be fun. I'd love to see if we got new blood that we can count on, you know?" And they take their seats over to the left. And yeah, so as I add these people, you guys can kind of tell me what you intend to do.
So I'm gonna walk over to the swordsman. And I'm gonna ask him, or I'm gonna say, "Those are some fine-looking blades. Do you hail from the Yardle Isles? Is that what they're called? Jardal?
Yeah, Jardal Isle. Yeah, you can tell that without. I mean, it's almost a rhetorical question, but at the same time, you know, the fact that you're addressing him with respect, as you have with so many swordsmen in the past, he nods very respectfully. His gaze is a little. You can tell he's passive, but he's not really interested in engaging a conversation.
Okay.
Hey, Lick, I see some hey, Lich, I see some food over in the back corner. You want to go grab something to eat?
Boy, do I ever.
Jean's like, yes, we definitely. I had Chef make up a ton of food because of last time, and we have more guests this time. And Chef's like, you know, you're not paying me enough for this shit. So you see a wonderful display of various foods and ales and such.
And I proceed to get a plate and gather some food for myself.
I also
Cool.
gather a plate, and then I sit over here at the cool guy's table. But before I sit down, I ask him if I can take this seat.
Of course. Good to see a new recruit. And he kind of puts his bow to the side and tips his ale to you in order to like clink it. He goes, we don't even need to do the test with you. I can tell you got what it takes. And then he kind of squeezes your muscle a little bit if like you let him reach over. He's like, "You're a tough one, aren't you?"
Watch out, those things are loaded.
Everyone in the room gives a very forced laugh. But Jean actually busts. You have not seen this side of Jean yet. Guns loaded. Lich. I really hope you have what it takes. You're a funny one, aren't you?
I try.
And then
I'm gonna
Yeah.
turn to the other two people at the table and ask them, where do you two hail from?
Poe doesn't acknowledge you. He just kind of. It's kind of hard to tell because he doesn't have, like you. It's not humanoid eyes. They're just yellow lights. So they blink and then don't respond. And Fiora is like, out of all of the people I get, these two are probably the strongest you ever meet. But they're boring as shit, Poe. Poe, I know you can hear me. And he just blinks and then stares at her blankly. She goes, he hails from Dwelva, a town, the country of technology, and I myself am a Remillion. Deserts and all that. Desert
Hey.
slavery, the whole deal.
Dungeon Master, is there anybody sitting at the center table?
No, not yet.
Alright, I was just curious. I am going
It's not on here, but you can tell there's a very nice looking cloth.
No, we
set
can
up.
see it. I can see the rug.
Yeah, it's a rug, but the table itself is just wood. But you can
Okay.
tell it's actually
It's like a
it's
special table.
It's definitely set, and there's 3 chairs for you, or well, bearing the lead there, I guess. But
So I'm gonna take my plate of food and I'm gonna walk over to the bookshelf. Anything interesting on this bookshelf that I see? Do I need to? roll?
no, you can. No, I won't have you roll to look at a bookshelf, and you've probably in passing been told it's just a various collection of different names and places, history, and it's all in Jean's handwriting. But it seems to be very rigorous notes taken on just people around town. Jean sees you looking over there. He goes, "You can look, don't touch. Most of those are my own private collection. But let's just get the show on the road. Once you're bounty hunters, you're free to roam. But it's information we don't divulge just to anyone. We don't want our information getting into the wrong hands, because information is business." I have been searching for this one fucking character this whole time. I cannot find him.
So if we
Probably doesn't
become
talk.
bounty hunters, do we get library cards?
Yes. If you could say that, I will. I have a very what's the word? Special memory. And he like taps on his head. Part of my aspect, if you will. But I never forget a face. I never forget a detail, and I will make you pay in blood if you lose or any of my precious information. These I didn't describe these two people in the corner. They're very fancy looking elves of sorts. You can tell that they hail from somewhere of nobility, but they're just kind of judging the room with a very snooty. Their noses are up. They're fraternal twins. You can tell they're related just by looking at them.
So hey, how can we tell the dude with no face is on our side?
Oh.
As I'm chewing a bunch of food to roleplay.
If that's when Tough comes in. He goes, he barrels through the stairs. "You guys gonna leave without me? Your best friend, best partner." But anyway, sorry. Just getting aside from that, I'm a little bit what's the word? Petty. And then he pats Roll on the shoulder. But he aims over at Poe. "If you've never heard the tales of Poe the Potent, then you, my friend, are not meant to be a bounty hunter. He's one of the Institute's greatest creations. Dwelva prides their powerful, potent Poe." And then Poe just blinks. And then Fiora goes, "Trust me, you can tell. He's, I probably shouldn't say their names. Well, her name hasn't been introduced. Actually, she would have introduced herself as Fiora Arioff of Ramel. Part of the the Rockport's battalion's 1st Division, the Crimson River leader. She goes, trust me, anyone that I vouch for, my word is law, you know you could trust with your life. And Poe is one of the best out there.
Good to have you on the team, Poe.
Fiora's like, well, we don't know if you're part of our team yet. And Jean's like, yes, I'm sorry. Let's get this under the way. The leaves, shall we? And he walks over to, just either, like, are Melage, are you still over there by the other people, or did you go there thinking that was an empty table?
There was an empty seat, so I just sat down. I didn't ask anybody. Just sat down and started eating my food quietly.
Okay. Yeah, he's like, if you, who has the leaves?
I have one.
Oh, you both have one. Remy, he knows me too well. Hell, maybe he saw you guys and thought, these guys aren't gonna cut it. Gene's gonna need more to test future bounty hunters. We are having a shortage, but I'm sure it'll be fine. If you guys could come here around this table, and then he kind of looks at Tough and he's like, I guess bring up a chair, Tough. And he's like, no, I'll stand. And he's short enough that, like, while standing, he looks like you wouldn't be able to tell. He's about as high as you guys are. Well, maybe not Lich. Lich is kind of, almost trying to get, like, one cheek into the chair. Can't even fit two.
Fat ass.
And so, do you allow Gene to take the leaves from you guys?
Yes.
So he takes them. He passes. Fiora comes around and he gives one of the boxes. He goes, "Please go put that in the safe." She goes, "Of course, Gene, you got it." And then she takes one of the boxes and then just waltzes over to the corner while you guys are continuing. All right. So I know it seemed like a very menial task, a delivery task, if you will, but these leaves, and he opens it up and you see 4 crystalline leaves glittering with light and beauty. You could tell there's something divine about them. It just gives off an energy. Are most precious tools as bounty hunters. He opens up, like, where you would think a pocket watch would be with a little chain on it, and shows that he has a crystal, but the difference is his is kind of shimmering a dark blue. He goes, the reason that we as bounty hunters need these crystals is because if you're able to infuse, or if the crystal from the Tree of Life itself reacts to your will, if you will, your own divine aspect, your true colors will show. And then he elbows Lich. Get it? Colors, because it's... Oh, well, you guys don't know the process yet, but essentially, there's 7 colors that represent the aspects of humanity. All matter is made up of light and energy, and each of those fragments are reflected into your soul, into these crystals. For example, and he shows his blue, my crystal glows a dark indigo blue because... Oh, no, a light... a regular blue. It's kind of like a eggshell blue almost, because my natural abilities tend to lie in the intelligence area of expertise. Very intuitive, if you will, or very intellectual. And he taps on his head. In reflection to that, if you he's like, where'd he go? Keisha, if you will. And Keisha pulls out his crystal, and it's a very dark blue, like distinctly different. He goes, Keisha has an ability, his divine energy seems to resonate with that of someone who's very fast, very dexterous, and that correlates to the color of indigo. And going around the circle, if yours goes red, or if it even glows at all, for those that aren't skilled enough or at least adept enough in their connection with their own soul, their own will, those who aren't worthy, it will stay crystal. It could change. Most of the time, it doesn't. People tend not to change who they are, but this is how we deem who has the skills necessary to be honed as a bounty hunter. If it reacts to you, then you shall wear it as your badge and use this crystal as your means to prove your identity as a member of the BHA. Um, without if it, but just to give you a brief. I know I've been talking for what seems like forever. It's almost like I like to ramble.
Well, quick question actually. Do
go
these
ahead.
leaves seem to be fragile like leaves, or is it?
No,
Okay.
you cannot break these with any worldly possession.
Okay.
The only thing that can affect they almost interact with a different plane of existence. The only thing that can affect these crystals, um, constitutions, are the divine aspects themselves. For example, if someone were to um, focus their energies on absorbing the crystal, it is an energy of itself and could dissipate. I highly don't recommend it. You would have to consciously do it. It's not something that one can easily just, oops, accidentally made my crystal disappear. But it is something with training one can do if they wish to harness the power of the gods further.
Gotcha.
But no, it's part of why we use it as a signifier because it's essentially bound by one's soul, bound to the user and useless to anyone else. Um, that being said, unbound ones, and he shows like he kind of gestures to the table, are very rare. Hence, Jagger's attempts to steal our Remy's goods consistently. This was a haul that he's sorely gonna miss. I'm sure or if he hasn't already found out that his men's mission failed, he will be upset. But just real quickly, I can send a picture again. It wasn't working last time, but the colors coordinate with the rainbow. So it's starting with red, and if you think of it like the leaf has 6 points. It is starting with 1 point. There's strength, which is red. Orange is going to be constitution. Wisdom would be yellow. So Roy, green is charisma. Blue is intelligence. Indigo is dexterity, and then violet is other. There's some. Gene kind of explains that only the rarest of individuals carry the divine energy of violet, which is pretty much just a representation of all attributes of the divine combined. You'd essentially be a god if this responded with purple, but no one has ever done so.
Hey, Gene, do you mind going through the colors one more time, please? Didn't quite catch all of those.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm sorry. Again, that image I had tried to send didn't work. I'll send you guys something that's a little bit better. But yeah, red is strength, and I'm going kind of clockwise. If there's one of the images I sent you guys before, if you've ever looked at like the 6 points of what things are. So red is strength. Orange is constitution. One's that has constitution's very sturdy. One that's wise, very in touch with their spirit, is going to be yellow. One that has charisma, and then you see Dwayne in the corner shine with a big grin. He's got it like a necklace. He wears it like a necklace under his shirt. A brilliant emerald crystal. One that has intelligence as their main attribute, and he shows his again, is blue. And then finally, indigo is that of one that is very dexterous. And then Keisha kind of just flashes his dark, almost black-looking blue. And again, violet is something that exists, but technically, rumors have had, we have had, not rumors, stories have told of only 2 individuals, Laxus and Lenore. We can get into that some other time. Who needs religion? But essentially, they were ones that were rumored to have violent aspects.
You see violet or violent?
Violet. Sorry.
It's
Well,
gonna
if you
get
read
violent.
the stories, both, I guess, but neither here nor there.
What color
So-
was charisma? Did you say emerald?
Yeah, green.
Okay.
Think of it as a prism. All colors of light exist on 6 or 7 different colors as a base. Just like that, humans have attributes. All colors and attributes and all personalities are made up of 6 different, well, 7 if you count Violet. Keep repeating myself, but Violet being divine itself, superseding the human nature, correlate to such. So it's just a good indicator to kind of judge what if an individual is worthy, has the strength to grow and be strong. Because you can't be a bounty hunter without. There's going to be other people with strong aspects, and if you can't combat those individuals with your own talents, then you necessarily don't have to have an aspect, but you can serve your local militia or guards. Most of the people that fail this test decide to become civil servants on their own. You'll notice most of the guards in town are ex adepts or inductees. But anyway, I can talk forever. Let's get down to it, shall we? Let's see who has the and I already see Tough is reaching forward. I guess Tough, you want to be first? I know I'm gonna be a good bounty hunter. There's no need for this test. What do I have to do? And he picks it up and he like looks at it, and he goes. There's just kind of silence for a second, and Gene's like, "Well, you don't have to do anything. The crystal will respond to one's will." So, and then Tough kind of like looks around and bears. This is stupid, and he throws it on the table. You're telling me I don't have what it takes to become a bounty hunter? And Gene's like, well, not at this moment. That doesn't mean you're not capable. It seems that the crystal hasn't resonated with your energy isn't enough to kind of spark it, if you will. But that doesn't mean with time and training. And Tough just kind of like kicks the table, and he's like, I'm done with this crap. I'm gonna go to a different BHS bounty hunter station, for God says over, like you guys just hear it in the back of your heads. Bounty hunter station. I'm done with this crap, and he just leaves.
Man, it sounds like he left his will in Tammy instead of bringing it with him.
Keisha, did you? Lich. Oh, please take a crystal. You must. I will make you a waiter if you don't respond. But you must be a bounty hunter. Your wit is unparalleled. It's
All right,
he gestures for you to grab a crystal.
I received the crystal from Gene.
It's you. You kind of rumble it in your hand. I don't remember specifics, but I think you have some cybernetic enhancements in your hands, and so it takes a second for it to resonate. Then all of a sudden, you see this dark blood, crimson glow coming from the crystal, and suddenly, Lich, you have just a weird flash of crimson. It sparks this image of just blood everywhere on your hands. You're looking down at your hands, and there's flames around you, and blood is just everywhere. And it disappears almost as soon as you look into the crystal, almost like it was a refraction of light of sorts. But Gene distracts you from whatever the hell that was, and goes, "Oh yes! Oh good." You can tell he's really excited. Oh, we got a strong boy over here. I could have guessed. Yes, you have the strength of a god, it seems. Hone this skill. You have now officially become a member of the Bounty Hunter Association. And he pats you on the back. Who's next? This is
Don't
my
touch me!
favorite.
Don't touch me!
And he kind of backs away for a sec. And he can tell. He's like, well, I guess strength does seem to be your suit. Anyway, he doesn't let that deter his enthusiasm. He's a smart guy. He knows that he he didn't mean to offend, but he's not going to push it any further. Um, by the way, Keisha, and everyone's kind of mumbling over here. You could pick up like, ooh, strength user. We don't have enough. That'd be good. Could really work well with our, and then so Gene kind of goes, I guess we'll go clockwise, and then he roll. Would you like a go at seeing whether you're worthy or not?
So I don't say anything. I just reach over and grab a leaf.
It
Just-
instantly, like Lix took a second. Yours shines just a dark blue, almost like the room itself. Like it's very light, low, dimly lit as is, but darkness itself seems to overtake the room, and then goes, oh, it seems we have a contestant here, Keisha. Someone that has a will of I'm just gonna say dexterity for the sake of simplicity, but someone that is a assassin just as you. It seems maybe you can show him or two a thing with the blade, but yes, roll. Very good roll. Welcome to the BHA. You wear that badge proudly, or leaf.
I just kind of I pin it to my cloak, and I make a closed fist and put it over my heart and just nod at you.
Oh, yes. Okay, finally. Looks like we might have a full team here. It just depends on you, Melage.
So
Last
I
weapon.
hold out my arm and extend my shield, and I kind of take my other hand and I lift up the box, and I don't even touch the leaf itself. I just like basically let the leaf drop onto my shield.
Okay. The second it makes contact with the shield, for a split second, it looks the shield glows like a dark orange, and it kind of goes through the crystal itself. But then immediately a golden, brilliant light blinds everyone in the room. Essentially, it's flashes, and then you can see that the not just your shield, but the crystal itself is almost being like a focal point for this energy that seems to be rippling off of your the golden shield. And Gene goes, "Oh, that was interesting. I thought it was," and he like looks over at. I would say Duane, like, because this room's a little, like, it looks bigger than it is. They're fairly close. That was orange, wasn't it? And Duane's like, yeah, it was, but no, it's gold. It's definitely gold. Gene's like, weird. Okay, anyway, but that gold, oh, you are a man meant to protect, my friend. Sturdiest of fellows. Congratulations. Welcome to the BHA, Melage. And then the rest of the room kind of starts clapping.
So as they're doing that, I nod and smile approvingly, and then I take my leaf and I basically stow it like basically behind my shield, so that it's like in between my arm and my shield.
Oh, okay, that's dope. I like it. And as just for the record, the lights begin to kind of like fade and almost like if you looked closely into each one, you could tell it's almost like you lit a fire inside the leaf. There's a very tiny like flame, and Gene does like leans over and he goes, "It's you have lit the tree of life has responded to your energy, and as time grows, so will your strength." And he kind of he asks Keisha. He's like, "Keisha, come over here real fast. I just it's easier to show rather than tell. It's almost like there's so much talking. I'd rather just show you." And he's like, "Keisha, can you put your crystal on the table? And Roll, could you do the same? And if you comply, Roll."
Yes.
So you put the crystals side by side, and he's like, "If you look at Keisha's, it's gonna be a much. Okay, well it's a very bad example because he was going to gesture and say like Keisha's is supposed to be a much darker, brighter color. Like even though that seems like an oxymoron, like the flame within should be much stronger."
I think we might have lost Scott internet.
Yeah, I think he was.
So, how about those Jaggers?
Well then. Alright, well, if we're taking a second, I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick.
Like you said, his computer died.
Okay, that was weird. I guess my computer charger was a little loose. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Cook's went to use the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah, well, we'll just take a break.
That's cool.
Yeah, this one's obviously I plan for it to be a little bit more of a informative session, a little bit more talkative, but at the same time, I think this is the fun part where we're kind of dropping little hints, learning things, etc.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you took some time to put it into each of our reveals. I appreciate it.
It worked out a little well. I wasn't explaining like the whole blood thing made sense, but I was like, or at first, like last week, I was like, you prick your hand and the blood reveals it. I was like, that just seems a little culty, and as well as if it was divine. Like, I feel like it would reflect that, and it just made it easier. I wanted your pulling back the curtain a little bit, like I wanted it to kind of be like your strength as a bounty hunter is resembled in the actual strength of the flame inside of it, kind of. So like there's a level 1, 2, 3, like depending on how bright it is. But I was like, it's just a little too arbitrary. It's weird. I was like, I could just make it where if you're new, you start off low and then you can work your way up the totem pole to different ranks.
Okay.
So essentially, what Gene's going to describe here is as you get stronger, your flame grows stronger as you become more attuned to your power, and that'll be represented in your skill tree. Is what JT didn't really have. Like I told them, kind of like Skyrim, for an example, like where the constellations make up what your skill tree is. For yours, for yours it'll be like if you visualized it like a game, it would be like the leaf, the little veins on a leaf light up as you go almost down the leaf itself. If I was programming a game, that's how I would do it.
Got you. Works for me.
And I know we started a little late, so anytime you guys were like, hey, I really have to go or whatever, just let me know. I have a couple spots that we can, like, technically cliffhangers, kind of, not really cliffhangers, but break spots. Mm-hmm. Oh. I know something I did not do.
Sorry, gents, that was like the longest pee I've ever taken in my life.